Hello guys and welcome to another MK Mobile video. Today we are taking a look at the top 10 worst diamonds in the game. And before I continue, I just want to mention something important. When I say top 10 worst diamonds in the game, I don't necessarily think that they are all bad. In fact, the characters ranking from 10 to 5 I don't consider as being bad. It just happens that they're on my bottom ranking. Some of them I really enjoy playing with, but I just admit the fact that the rest of the diamonds in MK Mobile are simply better. And of course, this ranking is totally subjective, perfectly biased and prejudiced, so if you disagree somewhere with me, that's perfectly fine. Please let me know in the comments why you disagree with me and why you think that this character is good and how do you play with this character, which teams you use around him and what equipment you use. With that said, let's jump straight into number 10. Ranking at number 10, guys, for my horror, it is Classic Jax. I'm not really pleased, but I have to admit the fact that Classic Jax is a diamond with horrible passive. Apart from his passive, he's really fun to play. He has 2 unblockable special attacks, but after all, his passive revolves around blocking, which is never a good thing, and on top of that, it hardly ever works, which is even worse. Just 20% of this passive, one word for it, it has to be buffed. Let's take, for example, Assassin Jade. She can evade the special attack, crippling the enemy in the process, and she has higher chance to do that. So why Jax just has 20%? In my opinion, this passive should be buffed to at least 50 or 60%, because at 20 it is simply underwhelming. Coming in at number 9 is MK11 Scarlet, and I know a lot of you will disagree with me, and that's fine, but let me share with you my opinion on MK11 Scarlet. She has the highest health in the game, yes, I'm aware of that. However, she suffers from one common illness, and this illness is called other MK11 characters. In other words, if you need a good support for an MK11 team, there are much better alternatives than Scarlet. If you need a good fighter for an MK11 team, there are much better alternatives than Scarlet. You are getting where I'm going, right? In other words, there is absolutely no reason why would you ever use this character. The only thing good about her, where she shines, is that her passive looks awesome, and that's it. I mean, I would never ever use Scarlet in MK11 team, once again, because there are certain characters that perform much better everywhere, so she is not unique, she's just okay, but nothing special. And this is the reason why she ends up at number 9. Ranking at number 8 is Regorah. In fact, I love playing with Regorah. However, she has some clumsy basic attacks. She has unblockable special 1, and basically this is the best thing around her. Her special 2 is also good, but it can be blocked, and in general she's very, let's say, situational and risky to play. Her passive is just okay. Granted, if you kill a character, there are only 2 remaining characters on the enemy team if you manage to kill the first character of the enemy team. And the bonus you get if you do that is simply underwhelming. For a diamond character, for a passive that's supposed to be great, sorry, it isn't. It is just okay. Once again, she shines in poison teams where she is pretty great, but even there, her role mainly is punching back and support. So quite honestly, she is just okay. She's not a bad character, but she suffers from the same problem. There are simply better alternatives. Once again, Regorah ranks at number 8. And coming in at number 7 is Rony in Tequila, again a character who is not necessarily bad, but he has one main problem: he really shines in a Rony team. Now granted, outside of a Rony team, if given the correct equipment, he can also be very good, considering the fact that he's Spec Ops and he can be easily, let's say, supported, but still, his special 1 can be blocked, his special 2 can be blocked. In general, his basic attacks are not really that great, and once again, outside of a Rony team, he feels like a diamond without passive, and this is simply unacceptable for a diamond character who is extremely difficult to be maxed out. So I believe this is enough to consider Rony Tequila as one of the worst diamonds in the game, even though, once again, I don't consider him as a horrible character. He's just very situational and he shines in only one team. And coming in at number 6 is Circle of Shadow Jax, a character who actually was buffed not long ago. However, after the buff, he still feels underwhelming because the duration of his immortality is so short that if the enemy starts special 2, which is long, you will lose your immortality before the end of the opponent's special 2, and that's really a problem. What they need to do, in my opinion, is to buff this duration with at least 2 more seconds. If they do that, then Jax is going to be a good character. Right now, he's borderline good and bad. He can be really good if you're lucky, and he can be really bad if you're unlucky and your invincibility expires just like this and then you die. Basically, this is it. Apart from that, he has 2 unblockable special attacks, pretty good, even though they don't deal a lot of damage, but still this is something good. And his passive, once again, is very situational and you have to be extremely lucky. If you're lucky, it works and you can soak a lot of damage without any problems. If you are unlucky, it sucks. This is the reason why Jax ranks at number 6. He's simply risky and not good enough. And coming in at number 5 is Rony in Kitana. This is the character with the highest toughness in the game, which means that you have to give her some equipment to boost her toughness and she won't be taking a lot of damage. And on top of that, she's a kind of okay starter who has power drain on special 1, but basically this is it. She suffers from the same weakness like Rony and Tequila. She's only good in one team. Outside of a Rony team, she's just decent. And this is unacceptable for a diamond character. You cannot be just decent outside of one team in the game. So the main reason why Rony Kitana is on this list is, once again, she's not flexible at all. She's just okay in any team outside of a Rony team. Her basic attacks are not really that great. Her specials are just decent. And once again, this is underwhelming for a diamond character. Coming in at number 4, guys, is Black Dragon Kakano. Again, the same problem over and over again. By now, I believe you are getting the trend, guys. Black Dragon Kakano is pretty decent in a Black Dragon team, but outside of it, he's not that great. He's supposed to be working based on the buffs he is applying on his basic attacks. However, his basic attacks are slow and underwhelming. He is by far not the worst fighter in the game, but he isn't the best one either. He feels just underwhelming for a diamond character. This is the best word to describe him, underwhelming. And even in a Black Dragon team, even if he starts with an X-Ray, in a lot of cases his X-Ray won't be enough to finish off your opponent because Black Dragon Kakano has pretty low stats. If you don't remember, for a while he was a gold character who could be bought for coins. Yes, that's right, and his passive was that he was cheap. Now, this is no longer the case, and he's a diamond character, the leader of the Black Dragons, but still, he's just okay. But once again, there are much better characters than him. Okay guys, we got into our top 3, and for those 3 characters that will follow, I can say that yes, I do consider them as a bad characters, not terrible. In fact, I consider just one of them to be terrible, but 2 of them, let's say, are bad, and the 3rd one is terrible. And we will start with the guy occupying number 3, this is Black Dragon Tremor. He's a very good example of a character who is incredible on paper, but in reality he doesn't work because his passive is flawed to its core. It is really flawed. In fact, the only good use of Black Dragon Tremor is the fact that he is one of the safest openers in the game, due to the fact that if given his equipment and he's going to start in his gold form, he will have 100% resistance to the buff, so he cannot be stunned, silenced, anything. So you just start the game, then you tag him out and you're good to go. I tried so many times to make him work, but it simply doesn't work out, guys. He's simply so strange and his passive is so bad that you cannot have fun with this character. In order to do special 2, the one that deals damage to the enemy twice, you have to do so many special attacks that it just loses its point. It's like you having a passive but you cannot use it because it is so difficult to do. And this is something that I don't really appreciate in a diamond character. And this is the reason why this character is ranking at number 3, worst diamonds in MK Mobile. Okay guys, number 2, the runner-up of this video is Assassin Kitana. She's part of the Assassin team, but the only use of her is to finish off enemies due to her tagging attack. Now, joking aside, Assassin Kitana has probably the highest power generation in the game, and this alone should be great, right? It kinda is, but at the same time, her special 2 sucks, especially if the enemy blocks it, then it doesn't do almost any damage. Her special 1 is good, but it is not lethal, and that's a problem considering the fact that her basic attacks are quite clumsy. And on top of that, she's extremely squishy. Even though that she is immune to critical hits, she's still extremely squishy. So once again, the only thing she's good at is to land a tagging in attack, do some damage in the process, inflict bleed on the enemy, then power drain the enemy and then tag out. Apart from that, she is bad, especially if she's used outside of an assassin team, because after all, if you tag her, if you actually team her up with assassin J, she can evade, which kind of compensates for her squishiness, but outside of an assassin team, she's totally worthless, in my opinion, of course. And this is the main reason why she ranks at number 2. And before we review our champion, a few words about one honorable mention, even though in this video honorable mention is actually a bad thing, but yeah, I want to talk about Cold War Sonya, because she used to be my absolutely favorite character in the game back in, I don't know, 2019, 2018, when update 2.0 wasn't a fact, and I loved playing with Cold War Sonya. She was so flexible, she could join any team and add value to it. After update 2.0 they absolutely destroyed her, until update 3.0 that introduced survival mode. Now in survival mode she is not really that bad, because before survival mode she was worthless. She was giving shield for 8 seconds, that was nothing. I mean, nobody would ever use her outside of a Cold War team. That's really bad. You take a character who works, who is great as a GOAT, and then you promote this character to Diamond and destroy her passive in the process, making this character worthless outside of a Cold War team. I don't accept that, I think that's bad. At least after update 3.0 I can say that Cold War Sonya is kind of useful in survival mode, and this is the main reason why she didn't, or let's say she wasn't part of my top 10, because now after update 3.0 she can shield your starter in survival mode, and this is really great considering how many wild Circle of Shadow Liu Kangs you are meeting basically on a regular basis. So yeah, Cold War Sonya is still an honorable mention, but she is outside of my top 10 worst diamonds. And the winner of this video, guys, is Leatherface. I hate Leatherface. This is a character who can work in no team. Literally, he can be useful only in troll teams. If you want to have fun, you can team him up with Melina and Shao Kahn and just laugh. Or you can use him in any other team that has stuns, for example, 2 Scorpions in Leatherface. This character is supposed to be working in a Nightmare team, but there he is not helping the team, he's detrimental to the team. I had so many cases where I'm about to kill the guy, but Leatherface decides that he has to intervene with his stupid chainsaw or whatever and trigger the Revenant of my enemy in the process, which makes it easy for my opponent to escape. He did this on so many occasions. In general, he has very slow basic attacks, 2 of his special attacks can be blocked, his passive once again is simply not good enough, even with Block Breaker he's simply not fun to play, and he doesn't fit any team, even the team where he is supposed to be working, he doesn't. He's simply the worst character in the game, not only Diamond, I would say the worst character in the game in general. There is no reason that you ever pick this character in any team, especially considering the fact that he's Netherrealm and there aren't a lot of options to support him. But why would you like to support him in the first place? Is he going to be your main fighter? I don't think so. In general, Leatherface, guys, I don't like this character. Yes, he has good stats, he deals insane damage if played correctly, but I would never ever use this character in any team. He's simply terrible, he doesn't fit any team composition, he's even detrimental to his team composition, and yeah, he has to be reworked because otherwise he will be simply the worst diamond in the game. Okay guys, this is my top 10. Please let me know whether you agree or disagree, and let me know which is, in your opinion, the worst diamond in the game. If you want to see more top 10 videos, you'll be seeing the playlist on the top right corner of the screen anytime now. See you next time guys, take care and stay safe.
Perfect. Perfect.